Numbers 22 and the story of Balaam, and we're asking the question, how does a good man go to the bad? How does a gifted man lose track and head off into the darkness? And there is a difference between a false prophet and a true prophet, and the difference is simply that it's the way that gift, which has come from God, is used. Does it point to God, or does it point to the person? It's an important principle to understand. How does that gift get used? And Balaam, you can see very clearly in Numbers that he uses his own specialness to point to himself, to fix the people's attention on this man of mystery, this enlightened one who is in the know, the one who can bring you the revelation of God Most High. It's all sort of chanting and spells and all kind of stuff. It's so that you can look at it and think, wow, what a guy. And he is admired, he is feared, and he is sought, and he wants to make money out of it. And King Balak struck the keynote of his character when he said, "Am I not able to promote you unto honour?" And this is where we see the gift in a person going to the bad. He wasn't seeking God's honour. It's really serious, this. You know, you have to go full tilt with everything that God's given you and throw all the gifts that God's given you and exploit them and push them. But if there's ever a sense that you are seeking your own honour, then God gently excludes you from his purposes, because he cannot use you to bring glory to yourself. And when people get big in their denomination or their TV ministry or their self, powerful in the control of their priestly position, whenever somebody comes in and stands at the front and there's ever a flavour of "I am the man," then that is the sin of Balaam. That is when the gift starts to go to the bad. That's the temptation that Balaam faced. And his obvious gifts were made to serve his own greed. And you glimpse this in when he's speaking to Balak's messengers, and he says, "If Balak would give me his house of silver and gold, I still won't come." See, why did he say that? He's trying too hard, isn't he? You know, if you're a brave man, you don't go on and on about how courageous you are. You know, the Queen doesn't go on and on at every tea party insisting that she is, after all, royalty. Because it's obvious. It's stated. And he's going on and on about how he doesn't want silver and gold. And, well, that's what the real score was in his heart. Money and power. He wanted to be top dog. He wanted to be feted and consulted and sought and pampered. And that process went on until truth itself was compromised. It was God that had given him a gift of prophecy. That's what the Bible says. And it was being squandered. And when you see the lives of truly great people like Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi, you see people who face the temptation to allow their gifting to promote fame and their fame to promote their own egos. It's a big deal, you know. But there's more to come. The desire for money and power is pretty obvious, and it's pretty trivial, isn't it? And vulgar, really. Slightly childish. But the real problem is when you compromise your own conscience. God had said to him very clearly, "Don't go with them. You shall not curse the people, because Israel is blessed." And then these higher ranking messengers come with their limousines and champagne receptions, and they say, and so Balaam goes back to God and says, "Well, what do you think? Should I go with him or not?" You see, he's compromising what he knows to be the truth. Sometimes you face a situation and you have an instinct, and your first instinct is quite often the true one. But then, because you don't want to face the implications of that instinct, you talk yourself out of it. There's a brilliant instance with Pilate. Pilate met Jesus. he knew that this man was innocent, and he prevaricated, he talked himself out of it, he talked himself into a confusion and then gave in to the crowd. And so he sacrificed the truth he sacrifices his conscience to his desire to maintain his position. And Pilate says, what is truth? And the truth is standing in front of him. And he misses it. So what's going on here? God gives guidance, and Balaam refuses it. Balaam wants to please himself without displeasing God. And so the problem is how to get to Balak and not to offend God. And so he plays with his conscience. Now here's the thought. God speaks. God speaks continually. But you have to choose to listen. And when his guidance comes, you have to follow the promptings of your conscience. And if you go astray, man, it's just like taking a wrong turn off a motorway, because the choice you make has consequences. And it could be a long time until you get back on track again. Okay? God bless.